One fantastic idea for Pokemon. We all know that Pokemon is a fantastic game, but suddenly, lately, the games have felt more like I don't know if Pokemon knows the charm and what they have anymore. But one thing that would be able to fix that? You know how we have NSO Plus, where you buy a membership, whatever you want. You want the N64, the GameCube, you pay a bit more. Or do you want just the original classic stuff? You pay a little less. But what about Pokemon? Kind of similar to that. I mean, it would be a lot better if you could go out and buy the physical games, unchanged whatsoever. But I feel like that would never happen. But this idea isn't the worst thing in the world. Now, how this would work, they wouldn't put the games on NSO Plus because they want to make a little dough off their old games, because every company does. But what if they added NSO Pokemon? Now, you would get the original Game Boy games, you would get the Game Boy Advance for a little monthly subscription. Then you would get the DS games, for a bit more, so maybe $40 or something. But then, one tier above that, you would get the 3DS games for a little bit more, but they all connect seamlessly to Pokemon Home. Now, that would be a really interesting idea, because then you could play your old Pokemon games really, really fun. I think that it would honestly be better without the subscription, where you could go out and buy the physical game and there you go. But, this is a step in the right direction. I really would love to go out to the store. Oh my goodness, I can buy Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver for Nintendo Switch 2. It hasn't been changed. It hasn't been touched whatsoever. Because we all know that Game Freak, when it comes to remaking games, they seem to like to not add things that made the game special. Like, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were such fantastic games. But now when we saw that game, I mean, they were fine. I thought that they were pretty fun, but they weren't capturing the same experience that you would get from the DS Pokemon games. So if they were to bring those back, instead of letting them stuck in the void, just like sitting there, so when are we going to be able to see the light? It's kind of dark in here. It's been like this for 15 years. I know, right? It's been there. So instead of that, you can, take them out of the void, slap them onto the Switch. No matter what it is, a subscription service for whatever, a year. I don't honestly like subscription services that much, but it still works. Or the physical game. You sell the games off, you can buy the games, and they're yours forever. But how this would work, since you don't have the two screens anymore, you can essentially just change the aspect ratio. You can have either just open the pause menu or whatever, or you can have just the little tiny map or the little DS thingy in the corner. So that would be the map, that would be the bottom, that would be the battle thing. And then you can just hold one button and then it opens up and makes it bigger. Or you can have it the main screen on the left side and the other screen on the right side. That would be really, really awesome, because then it allows players to play the old Pokemon games once again. Because honestly, who here has been kind of bored of playing the current Pokemon games, want to go back to the old ones? Because honestly, the old ones are fantastic. I can't say it enough how much I like Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And some of us probably never played Pokemon Black or Black and White 2. Because those right there are like so expensive. Those games are super, super expensive. Now, I did play Pokemon Black for a little bit, and then something came up. I don't know where that cartridge actually went. But anyways, the thing is, the original experience of Pokemon, shouldn't it be more like throughout the universe? Like, we know that Pokemon really doesn't like to take things that that are old and then resell them, because look at the cards. They only leave them out for a limited amount of time, and then, well, you can't get your old cards anymore, so makes it something kind of like exclusive for those who were there in the time. Maybe that's what Pokemon Company or Game Freak wants to do about the old Pokemon games, which that doesn't make any sense, because don't you want players to play the old games? Because this is the highest grossing franchise in the world, the most amount of money, the most popular franchise. But you don't care too much about the games, but you care more about all the other stuff. I think it would be better if, sure, keep the cards the same. That's fine. The games, though, take those games out of Void, slap them on there. Make your own subscription service. Make your own games. Just like re-release them. You don't even have to change them. You could take a game from years ago and just port it over to the thing. You know how excited players would be to play those games again? You don't understand the amount of excitement they would get if they announced something like that. They were going to just take the original Pokemon games and boom, sell them like that. Or even better, you know what? What about a 3-pack? A 3-pack of games that were never touched. You can sell it for whatever the heck your price is. You want to sell it for what, $80? I mean, that's a little expensive, but you're getting 3 games and you get to keep them. They better be on the cartridge. The only reason I'm saying this, all right? So imagine this. The 3-pack of whatever, Pokemon, the Game Boy games, you would get one. That would be maybe $60, okay. Then you would get a different pack that would have Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White, and Black and White 2, $80. And then you would have a different one that was Diamond and Pearl and Platinum and the other game. What's the other game? Anyways, you would have those on there. And then, boom, that's another one. You know, release them in 3-packs. Then, it allows players to play the games. It allows players to own the games. It allows players to just have fun with the games. And you don't have to do anything. You can just take those games, slap them on the cartridge, and sell them for, like, whatever your price is. Whatever you think is a good price for those. Now, Pokemon or Nintendo is notorious for liking to resell their old games. So what if the Pokemon company does the same thing? Maybe they take Nintendo's idea in mind and say, you know what? It's a great idea to take our old games finally after so many years and allowing players to play them again. Because, you know, that'd be fun. And also, you can bring back all the online functionality that made it so special back in 2006, 2010, 2011, 12. Whatever the case may be, the online functionality that players can battle and they can trade and they can do a whole bunch of stuff wasn't the exact same as it is now. Currently, the online functionality is fine, but, you know, it wasn't the same. It doesn't capture the imagination. It doesn't capture everything that, you know, you really find amusing about it. So honestly, what do you think about this? Do you think that it would be awesome to see the games return on Nintendo Switch 2? Or do you think that's never going to happen? Those games are going to be stuck in the void for a nondescript amount of time. They're just going to be gone. They're just going to be like, oh, man, poor games. Well, let the sun shine all over the Pokemon games. Anyways, let me know in the comment section down below on what you think about this. Do you think that this would be so great? I would love to see it, honestly. I would give you $80 for 4 Pokemon games in one thing, or 3, or whatever it is. Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver, whatever, Black and White 2, and Black and White. Boom. Now you don't have to pay a ridiculous amount for a 3DS game that you can't even play half the game. Anyways, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this. And with that being said, consider hit the like button. Maybe subscribing if you want a whole bunch of random Nintendo content. Like, there's a lot of random Nintendo content. And thank you so much. With that being said, hope you have a fantastic day. And see you in the next one. Hope you enjoy Pokemon as much as I do. Pokemon. Woo!